match?
Oh my God! Of course it matters because that's when you establish who is who. I remember my ex-wife. She she used to kill me because I used to be a massive NBA fan. I used to be a really really big sports fan, not quite as much as I used to be. But she always used to tell me, you only got to watch the last 2 minutes of a basketball game. That's all that matters, the last 2 minutes. And I was
Yeah.
like, damn, yeah, that's
Damn,
kind of,
that just hit me.
yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, because all that, everything they're doing before that, it only comes down to the point exchanges in the last 2 minutes. Like, damn, okay, well, all right, yeah. But when you're talking about a pro wrestling match, those first 60 seconds, you establish who the heel is and who the babyface is. And that's going to establish, and you also establish the story that you want to tell. So the first 67 for the first 60 seconds of a match are vital to establishing who the characters are and what story you're trying to tell. So if you and I've seen matches, especially some like lesser experienced indie guys, where they get right into the match and they go into this amazing high spot and it's just bing bam boom bing bam boom 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 and they finish and people are applauding, but they're applauding for the action, but there's no connection to who's who. And okay, granted, some people probably already know like this is my guy or but in that first 60 seconds, that's where you want to establish your character. I'm a white meat good guy baby face, and I'm a self-absorbed asshole heel. And that's where you plant the seeds for your storytelling. In the beginning, typically, traditionally, your baby face is out wrestling the heel and kind of establishing that he's better. The heel's, kicking the rope and getting mad, and now you're establishing an emotional connection. We like this guy, we don't like that guy. The first 60 seconds of a match, I think, if you're doing it the right way, and I say the right way because everyone, we've discussed it, shades of gray, flavors of ice cream. People think, well, I'll do it this way. That's the way I want to do it. But traditionally, there's a formula that has worked for 100 years. And if you take the first 60 seconds to establish who you are, let the fans know I'm this guy, he's that guy, then the fans will be able to understand without knowing who anybody is. Because if you're not on TV, if you're a relatively new indie guy at working at a new promotion and the people don't know you, you've got 10, 12, 15 minutes to show them what you can do in terms of high spots but that first minute, one of the things Norman Smiley told me, I remember one of the first lessons that he gave me early in my career, working at an indie show in Davie. He said somebody taught him the one time that you can be absolutely certain that all eyes are on you is during your entrance. When you come out, everybody's looking at you. Do something. And I forgot who he said taught him that lesson. He said, scratch your ass, pick your nose, do something, to let the people figure out like what they're looking at. And I think that same thing applies to the ring. Both wrestlers have their entrance. Both wrestlers are in the ring and they face off for the first time. Now you can establish character. And in your style of working, you can establish who you want the people to cheer for, who you want the people to boo for. And if you're both baby faces, hey, that first 60 seconds when you both go and you shake hands and you show respect, like, oh, okay, these there's no bad guy here. These guys respect each other. They're cool. But if you have the guy go over and he goes shake hands and he does that shit or
Okay,
whatever,
okay.
all of those things you plant in the very beginning so you can establish who's who and let people know what they're watching.